I've been neglecting Funtime Freddy for a little bit too long, and so I want to go over some fixes I'm going to do to help fix this wobbly head issue and a couple other things. But before I do, I want to talk about that crackhead yonder way staring into my soul. So right now, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, hang on. Yeah, I have everything, I have everything printed for this bonbon, which is supposed to be the giveaway bonbon. I also printed some new parts so I can have a second one, just for me, because I want that one, and then I want to paint this one a different color. Or heck, I might even paint a third, because I have two torsos, I have one set of ears, his face, I don't know where his nose went. Oh, there's Jerry. Hi, Jerry, or Greg, or Philip, whatever your name was. Anyway, so in terms of how the giveaway is going to work, do not ask, do not comment, do not anything. Like, oh, how do I do it? When's it going to happen? I still don't know. Hopefully tomorrow, I'm going to assemble this thing and then record a video explaining how it's going to work, because I don't know what's the best way of doing it. I heard using Google Forums might be a good way of doing it, but anyway, I'll go into more detail about that later once I do some research. Back to Freddy. So good old Freddy here with the googly eyes, which I cannot take off, so I regret doing that. He needs some work. Number one, he needs his connector in there, a little loose, as you can see. I do this. That's broken. That's not supposed to do that. Oops, I think, actually, can I break this off? Oh, hang on a second, let me just get this. Oh, something's loose. Something's loose in there. Ah, it's connected to the servo horn. Anyway. Yeah, I have to reprint that part to just hold this in place, because I've pretty much given up on having these plates move at the moment, because it's just easier to get the outside plates moving, and then I'll worry about the insides later. But, no, until I get that down, I'm just going to have them not move. Now for his neck, there's a couple things. So, how his neck works is that it sits on a universal joint that I 3D printed. And it uses 4mm screws that screw into heated inserts. You know, those things right there. That's a heated insert. Use a soldering iron to push that into the plastic. Use a nice flat surface to flatten it out and make it flush. Nice and secure. The only issue is that technically that's not a 4mm diameter piece of metal. It's like 3.8 or 3.7. It had that small gap on all four sides, contributes to this being really wobbly. Secondly, if you look at the connectors down here, if I can do this, you can kind of see how whenever I move the head, they move freely from the horn. So to fix this, I'm gonna get a thread die maker. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get like a 3mm rod, and I'm going to use this die to cut a thread into it, so I can so I can screw it directly into the horn here, and cap it off with a nut in the back, and if I can do it right, if I can do it on both sides, I can have the centerpiece where the actual screw goes into the ball connector here, nice and smooth, but have a thread on this side and this side, so I can screw it all down, have it nice and tight, and not have it all wiggly. Also, I also have 3mm threaded rod just in general, and I'll just cut it to length so I don't have to worry about this wobbly, filament breaking or whatever, making the whole thing just somewhat more and more stable. But in terms of the design for this connector right here and the U-joint, I'm completely changing it, just a little bit. Mainly this piece right here, because one, it does make it so these top pieces don't spread. Whenever, like this piece, like without this connector here, it sort of just spread too much, and that just makes it all warbly and wobbly. So to fix that, I did that, but that's a pain in the ass to get all that support out, and also it's cracking. You can kind of see it right there, little crack. But to do that, I have done some changes. So if we come over to the computer of wisdom, hello Mimic, okay, as you can see, oh look, it's me. I have my light on. That's better. And as you can clearly see, banana. Okay, anyway. So, how I'm changing this, Okay, hang on, let me stop the banana real quick. I stopped the banana and the program froze, no! So, unlike the connector that was up top, which you saw the ball end connectors connected to the servos that are down here. They're, you know, down here. Oh, hang on, let me get rid of his. There we go. If, look at this. To make it so that these two are connected and not have all this, like, support up here, I just have this piece right here. And what I did is just a simple piece, and it has two holes that go all the way through. It's 4.4 millimeters in diameter, which is perfect for 3 millimeter heated inserts. Now, technically, these are 4.6 millimeter, but you have to make the hole smaller because it actually has to, like, push into the plastic and have some, like, a tight fit. So it melts, you know, the plastic melts around it, and then it hardens when it cools. So it's a nice, secure fit. If it's you know, you don't want it to slide into the hole. You want to get stuck into the hole. And so with that being, you know, heated inserts and then just putting it in here, I can just, you know, like 3 millimeter screws, one there on the side, and it should keep that nice and stable. Now for the U-joint, or the U-cube, or whatever you want to call this, I made some adjustments. One, I have modified the cupcake. I have modified the actual shape, so it's not bulging. Usually, I kind of offset it so it's longer on one side but shorter on another. There we go. That makes it easier. So there's a gap between the two. Originally, it was a tight fit between all four sides. The reason for that is because if I just get rid of this bottom piece here for a second, I can show you what the threaded rod's going to look like. So this is a 4 millimeter rod, and it's 16 millimeters long. I have half of it, so 8 millimeters is going to be a thread. I'm going to cut a 4 millimeter thread into it, and this is going to be the hole for a 4 millimeter heated insert. These bad boys, and some heated inserts are longer and some shorter, but these are the ones I have, and these are the ones I bought. So these are going into that hole, and that custom part is going to screw into it. Now, this hole right here is going to be a bearing that is going to fit this 4 millimeter rod. Now, I use the same way I put the heated inserts in the cube, I also put bearings in. I just put them on the hot end, I just push them in, I rub them flat. Actually, I run them flat with this. This right here I ordered this off Amazon to be used like a central shaft for the old Mangle animatronic, and I didn't really have another reason for it because I bought one too long. So yeah, I just use it to, you know, it's perfectly machined flat. So I just, you know, I'll just heat the part, push it down, rub it a little bit, or just, you know, do whatever. And either way, haha. I just install the bearings and heat inserts like that. So that's going to be a 4 millimeter heated, 4 millimeter bearing. So it's going to hold the actual smooth part of the rod, and then the other part is going to screw into the cube. Now, the reason why there's space in between here is because once actually before I install this, I'm going to put a nut, a 4 millimeter nut, or whatever it is. It's going to be, I think it's like 3.5 or 3.25 millimeters tall. So from this edge back, so from where the thread ends to this space here, it's going to be where the nut sits. And so if I have the nut sitting there, and then I tighten it into the actual, you know, heated insert, it'll make a nice fit. So it won't spin on the thread, it will only spin on the smooth part, which will be on a bearing. So it just locks these two together, and the only thing that's going to be moving is the rod sitting on the bearing. If it would load! Ah, finally! So, yeah. Now the reason why this top piece doesn't have the same support that the bottom section have is because this section's so tall that it kind of needs that support because it's just easier to flex. But since this other piece is really small in comparison and has this big chunk here and these two pieces, flexing isn't that big of an issue. And yeah, I just have to wait until like Monday or something, and then I can get the die set to just, you know, add a thread to that. And let's see, I have to reprint, yeah, I have to reprint all these parts because I had to, like, these faces were all messed up. Like, this was like 2 millimeters too close. That was one off. It's supposed to be like perfectly even. So the cues would be perfectly in the middle, and each face supposed to be equal distance from it, and it wasn't like that because the map was all wrong. So yeah, I had to eject and all that and do it all over. Ooh, banana. So let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's like that's just 4 things I have to print. I think so. So yeah, that could easily fit on that printer over there and the 2 in there quite easily. Just I'm not sure what else there is. Oh yeah, well actually I would have to print this top piece 3 times. 1 for Funtime Freddy, 1 for Glamrock Chica, and 1 for the Mimic. I regret doing that. Fuck. I haven't even. I'm not forgetting about you, Candy Cadet. I am not going to have you go in the closet unfinished. I'm going to do something with you. I just have to, you know, clean up this mess. In terms of Funtime Freddy's arm, however, I haven't actually done it yet, but I'm supposed to be using the spacer here to connect the servo horn of the arm tilt servo to the actual swivel part down here. Just because, like, it had 2 U-joints, 2 ball joints on here and here, and it just made the whole thing go to a really sharp angle, so the effectiveness of this, pushing against this, was dramatically cut. I'm hoping this can kind of solve the issue, but either way, I can take and give to make it better. For his elbow, I still haven't really done anything with it. Pretty much, his shoulder is from here, so you have this piece right here, will go right underneath the part that's holding his neck rotation in place, which I might have to reprint because I don't know where it is. So that's a separate piece, and then you have this piece right here, the whole part that holds the servos in place. That's a whole piece. So, uh-oh, yeah, ta-da! It's one giant print, and then you have this piece that connects the servo horn for this. This piece right here, and then you have this piece. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it, I have these 2 cut up in 2 separate pieces to keep the seam right, and that connects to the servos in there. I tried tilting the camera up like it's gonna affect the image in some way. So that was the servos in there. And besides that, I have not really done anything. So if I get rid of his forearm, I guess. Yeah, there's nothing. All of this is stock from that chica over there. I did try working on a way to get the servos in place to get his fingers working, because I know there's that hand over there, that hand right there, all Terminator style, that's just, oh god, it's all ultra unzoomed. Yeah, I know he has 5 fingers, but I haven't even adjusted the shell to hold, 5 fingers. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I was thinking about having the servos to control the fingers way in the torso here. But I'm like, well, that's like, so when this part rotates and then this part rotates and bends, that's like, how the hell am I going to get the slack to fit right? So I'm probably just going to try to work my way into getting the fingers to work like that. Worst case scenario, I don't have robotic fingers, and I just use, I just basically have to tighten them by hand and, I don't know, some puppetry magic to get them to work. But, yeah, that's Funtime Freddy. I'm hopefully this maybe tomorrow or the next day, because there's a couple things I have to do. One, I have to make sure all his parts for the giveaway are printed properly so I can assemble them. Number 2, I have to make sure that the parts for him are being printed so I can, get something done. Number 3, I need to put you back in storage. I want to at least get him up and running with his light and his neck movement and all that stuff. The only issue is I was mainly fumbling with this, ignore that, mainly fumbling with this, you know, slapper animatronic to wake me up. I don't know what the heck happened to it. It's just the, it reads the correct time. That's military time. That's technically 6:26 p.m. For something like, so in theory, if I let this stay power at, let's see, 6, that's 4, so that's 22:45, that should start slapping. But I don't remember being slapped this morning. So either this stopped working for some reason, or I'm just a really deep sleeper, because I adjusted that thing to where it would have slapped me in the face. So I don't know what the heck happened. Oh yeah, I have made progress. All that loose ceiling is now in the trash, and also on the floor. This shock vac's amazing. I still got to get that piece right there. Hey, look, I made a Mickey by accident. Turns out the reason why the draft was like that because the fiberglass was pushed up and air was able to drag through. But I don't know if this is just ambient wind in the room making these move, but they're not blowing in the wind like they used to. So hopefully the humidity in this room and maybe the hot air will probably be lower. I'm going to put something up here to cover up all this old film. I mean, didn't realize it goes all the way into the closet, too. Woo! It is bad. Also, the shower is right there. And so, I got to figure out what that is. But, you know, there's those problems for later. On the bright side, this part of the room is nice and sturdy, but if I come over here, yeah, you can see the cardboard moving. Basically, if I jumped on this floor, I'd probably fall through. I got die in here, so that these don't get hot water. I moved the body mask in here. By the way, that doesn't work. I've tried. So maybe next week or something, or maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure. I have so much stuff to do in so little time, and I just sleep too long on weekends. Probably get the rest of this cleaned out, and I might leave that for later. But, I definitely just want to get this cut out and make a nice cut for some drywall. I have one piece of drywall when I tried fixing my wall. So I have to go get more. And on the bright side, I do have one of these. Haha. Oh, wait. Aim, fire. Crap. Wait. Style points. I'm gonna step on those later and we're like, go right. It's gonna go right under my nail. Ugh. But in terms of what's going on in here, once I get all these storage boxes just out of the way, hopefully I can do stuff. Get an old IBM typewriter over there. Don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Hello, pals and Big Bertha. I moved all the paint out of this little container into this big container. So now look at all that paint. Scissors. And this solar panel. I don't know when I bought this, but hey, I have it now. That's cool. This is all the stuff. Let's see. What's in this box again? Okay, so this box contains the green screen and some resin stuff, and that contains a lot of other things. What I'm planning on doing is getting a corner table and putting it right here. So I'm going to put the resin printers in this room. So I don't ever worry about smelling that crap ever again. The only issue is, you know, oh, I want to use this corner. There's that. So, you know, that's a thing that's going to happen next week. So this room pretty much is going to be the 3D printing storage room. And I just got to do a lot of work. So much neglect, but that's the problem when you're reactive instead of proactive. You let things fall apart, and I'm going to try to change that. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to do that. Let me do something real quick. We have YouTube members to thank. Thank you, Kate, Arcturtus425, Nata Jermikoski, Patricia Jones, Hunter Ray, Omega 814, Blue Ink Studio, Dragon, The Spartan 803, and Perturbed. Thank you. Any help that you would like to give, I'll really appreciate it. I mean, again, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if it does help, you know, about, like, each roll of film, it's like, what, $20? So, you saw 3 in there, so there's $60 worth of filament on each of these printers. And I have the other printer right here. So, it's like, God, $80 to just put all the filament on. So, honestly, I guess that's it. I really don't know how to end this. I was hoping to make this like under 10 minutes, but you know, whatever. If you watch to the end, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and you know, tell me how you feel. And trying to fake this whole I'm positive all the time thing's annoying. Oh yeah, by the way, that same thing that's happening in that blue room is happening right above where I sleep. So when I get a long day off, probably when Thanksgiving rolls around, because how I set up my vacation, I'm gonna have 7 days off total. I might try either fixing that so it doesn't because I'm assuming there's some condensation dripping off in there or something, and it's causing to, you know, get wet and become brittle or something. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. But yeah. You are my... Oh, wait, what? Where's the juicy one? There's one that's supposed to have juice... Oh, wait, hang on. Ah, it's down here by my feet. Okay, here it is. Ha-ha! They're in the jar. Let me just put this out. Move this out of the way. Let me just put this on top of the... There we go. Put that on top of the Arduino. Oh, aren't they just precious? Yeah, let me just do this real quick. Oh, yeah, rub your butt on the glass. Yes! And then we tie you on a noose. Goodbye, everyone. Sleep well and smell well. Sleep well, smell well. That is the way of the Welsh. Ha-ha.